Hi, I'm Allisyn Levy. I'm the VP of GameUP at BrainPOP. I've been there for 8 years now, but before that I was a classroom teacher for 11 years. I got my national board certification and then, funnily enough, left the classroom to work at BrainPOP. I had been using BrainPOP for many years with my students, and I was also using a lot of games with my students, both physical games like Heads Up, 7 Up, and Scrabble, and computer games. And I remember spending a lot of time searching for fourth grade plus multiplication plus interactive plus game and getting millions of results and wanting to use them in 12 minutes when my kids came back from lunch and just not having time to vet all the games. And even if I did, there's so few quality games out there. So that was always a struggle for me personally. And over the past 3 years at BrainPOP, we've developed GameUP, which is a collection of what we feel are the best quality games that we've vetted that tie into the curriculum and that align to academic standards and Common Core standards. And we bundle each game with support materials to make implementation as easy as possible for educators. We've got over 100 games now on GameUP. Most of them are by organizations that we partner with. So from universities like University of Washington and Carnegie Mellon and New Mexico State University, to museums, to indie game developers like Filament Games, to nonprofits like iCivics and NobelPrize.org. There's all these great organizations making incredible games, and we're just trying to help get them in front of more kids and teachers. So BrainPOP has been around for about 15 years. Most people probably know BrainPOP from our collection of short animated videos on hundreds of topics across the curriculum. In the last 3 years or so, we've moved into the games by these organizations that we've partnered with. And we've been surprised to find that the games that we feature each day have surpassed the popularity of our BrainPOP topics, our BrainPOP movies. So you might recognize Moby on my shirt as being one of the main characters from our BrainPOP videos. And now we've moved to GameUP. And we've seen over 3 million hours of gameplay on GameUP. And we've been doing a lot of research around game-based learning. We partnered with the Joan Ganz Cooney Center on a research study around teacher attitudes towards using digital games in the classroom. And they actually just published a follow-up to that study recently. And it's just fascinating to see how much more comfortable teachers are becoming with games and how much more widely accepted game-based learning is in the classroom. We were also working with NYU and the University of Michigan through a grant funded by the Gates Foundation on an assessment and games study called A-Games, and the findings should be out early this fall. And that's on how teachers are using games as formative assessment. So GameUP is a great resource for teachers looking for games to experiment with if you're new to game-based learning and wanting to try this out. Just like with BrainPOP, you can come to GameUP, you can search for games by subject area. You don't have to be a BrainPOP subscriber to access the games. And what you can do is use a game to introduce a new concept to your students. So I might play a math game with my students that's about algebra before I even mention the word algebra to them. And through some meaningful gameplay, it sets this context, and then they become really desperate to learn about algebra. Teach me about algebra. They're dying to know about algebra because they really want to get to solve the game and get through the game. So whether you're just getting into game-based learning or you've already been doing games with your students and want to take it to the next level, check out BrainPOP's GameUP. We have something for everybody. We have a lot of resources for teachers interested in students creating their own games, helping students to become more critical evaluators of games. And BrainPOP has been around for 15 years. GameUP is relatively new. It's about 3 years old, but we're constantly adding new games, creating new partnerships with different organizations, and creating new tools like assessment tools to help teachers implement this in the classroom.